of this match in determined fashion, Stephen Tweed forcing a good save from Lekovic early on. Kilmarnock still smarting from the 3-0 hammering they took from Hibs earlier in the season, though they were out for revenge. But as they did in the first meeting, it was Hibs who were to dominate this match. Lekovic about to deny Jackson here. It was all one-way traffic really in the first half, and the Kilmarnock defensive frailties were being cruelly exposed by Hibs time and again. Too often it seemed they were relying on Lekovic to get them out of trouble. It was only a matter of time, it seemed, before Hibs would score, and they did, deep into injury time at the end of the first half. A clever four-man move, and a great finish by Michael O'Neill. Just like last season, he's going well. The loss of that goal made Killie more adventurous in the second half. They had to be, but when they did get forward, they couldn't get past Leighton. But Hibs were never really in any real danger. And it was no surprise when they increased their lead. Again, their clever passing movement left the Killie defenders trailing in their wake, and when McAllister's cross came in, Keith White wrapped up the points for Hibs. Miller's men were coasting to victory now, and they began to put on a show for the fans. And how they would love to have seen McGinley's effort end up in the net here. But 2-0 it remained, and Hibs still going well.
Keeps faith with the players who lost at Celtic Park last week. Because of Michael Watt's injury sustained against Celtic, Theo Snelder starts his first match since the 16th of September, when Aberdeen played Hibs at Easter Road. And that should mean a 4-4-2 setup, with Brian Grant at right back and Stuart McKimmie at left back, with Stephen Glass wide on the left-hand side of midfield and Paul Bernard and Ian Jess in the engine room. Hibs bring back Chris Jackson at the expense of Kevin McAllister, and that's the only change from the side which beat Kilmarnock 2-0 last week. Manager Alec Miller has switched to a 3-5-2 formation this season, with Dodds, Tweed and Hunter at the back, and a powerful central midfield trio of McGinley, Darren Jackson and O'Neill providing a major goal threat. Paul Bernard is Aberdeen's most expensive signing at £1 million from Oldham. The 22-year-old already has 2 full Scotland caps earned in Japan in the summer, and this is his 4th start for Aberdeen. Darren Jackson was named this week as Bell's Player of the Month. Operating from midfield, he has scored 8 times so far this season, 5 from the penalty spot. And he's developed even further after joining the Scotland international squad, where he's won 8 caps. And the referee is one of Scotland's most experienced officials, Jim McCluskey from Stewarton. Perfect conditions after a disappointing week for Scottish football, but there's no sign of despondency in either of these two camps. Aberdeen lying 4th, playing Hibs lying 3rd. And Aberdeen's only draw this season was at Easter Road, when they drew 1 goal apiece in a fine match, when Darren Jackson scored 1 great goal and Duncan Shearer scored for Aberdeen. So Jackson trying to make headway again there, and allowing Theo Snelder to get his first involvement in the play. Here's Bernard. Beautifully tackled there by Wright. Now O'Neill. Retaining possession well. McGinley's dropped inside there. That's Darren Jackson. Misunderstanding with McGinley. Free kick goes to Aberdeen. It's taken very quickly. Glass against Dodds. A good cross. There's Dodds. Fine save by Leighton. Here's Jess. With Joe Miller, that's deflected away from the corner. Stephen Tweed. It's an electric start by Aberdeen. Well, some fine play in the build-up again for Aberdeen, who look really hungry for the action here. Forcing Hibs to defend, and the ball played in there by Stephen Glass. Measured there for Billy Dodds. That's a great save by Leighton. And now the counter-attack is on. Darren Jackson leads the charge. Waits now for support. Kevin Harper's over on the far side, in behind Brian Grant. Good play this by Harper. And the stumble allows Grant to step in. This time, switching the other end very quickly again with Joe Miller. Bernard outside him. Good effort by Miller. looking for his 4th goal of the season. This isn't far away. We'll see this whistling just wide of the post. Relief for Leighton. Dodds, Miller. Booth steps back to remain onside. Reaches Stephen Glass. Terrific left foot, Stephen Glass. That was very close indeed. Well, remarkably, he's looking for his first goal of this season, having scored a few vital ones last season. There's Jackson's lofted pass. Harper up there with Smith. Given away by Snelders. There's Michael O'Neill. Harper was offside. That's been acknowledged by the referee because Aberdeen had possession. A loose clearance this by Theo Snelders, and Michael O'Neill had the chance to try to beat him from long range. The keeper was back. There's Bernard winning it well from Darren Jackson. Now Jess finds McKimmie. Here's Bernard showing lots of movement from midfield. Jess under pressure instantly there from O'Neill and Jackson. Darren Jackson that time. Keith Wright's header, that's O'Neill's pass. Harper! Well, that's a typical attack from Hibs. Clinical piece of play this was. Keith Wright playing it on there to Michael O'Neill. Harper coming in. It's the best chance of the match so far. No doubt about that. Michael O'Neill knew exactly where Harper was. The deflection didn't do any harm there at all, and Harper will finish the score. Certainly wanted to hit the target, that's for sure. Killie played it long. Harper is onside. He really is a menace up front with this movement and pace. Here he goes again. Brought down by the combined efforts of Ingles and Smith. Surely one of the hottest properties in the game, and taking sense. Kevin Harper. O'Neill's cross. Headed in by Keith Wright. 1-0 to Hibs. A little ball and a sufficient spark of attacking play deserves. Beautifully played it in low. The running figure was Keith Wright. He wasn't matched. And Snelders had no chance at all. Look at the run made by Keith Wright across the bows of the defender. That was great play by Wright. And he collects his 5th goal of the season. Excellent goal from Hibs. It's Booth. Now Glass. Good ball in. Well won by Darren Dodds. Bernard. Now McKimmie. Good spell of pressure this from Aberdeen, but they're not creating any clear chances at the moment against this determined Hibs defence. McKimmie did well. Lead Darren Jackson. Not quite enough space for Keith Wright. And Hibs perhaps as menacing as any side in the country on the counter-attack. They suck teams in and then counter so fast. Much pace in midfield and up front. Bernard takes it through a gap there, created by Jess's movement. Now Booth, finding involved in the build-up play this time. That's a good cross, and very well won on the run by Miller. And that will be alarming for the Hibs defence, the way in which Joe Miller, such a short player, could come in like this and cause problems for Joe Tortolano. Aberdeen start to build up again from the back with Gary Smith. Both trying to play that, I think, to Stephen Glass, but Darren Dodds had to be quick to beat Billy Dodds to that. Yes, nowhere to go there. That's for Harper. He's onside. Chance again for Hibs. A very tackle, which denied Harper Hibs' second goal. Good play this by Brian Grant. Watch number 4 there, make the tackle right at the vital moment. Sweet again, not to be denied in the air against both. Bernard. That's good play. There's Joe Miller. Bernard made an excellent run. He wasn't picked up. Good ball in, and excellent goalkeeping by Leighton. Well, Alec Miller irate on the track over there, and I'm not surprised because Paul Bernard ran off Darren Jackson there and found lots of space on the right-hand side to send over that dangerous cross. Killie playing it through the inside left channel. Billy Dodds chases, matched all the way by Hunter. Into stoppage time at the end of a thoroughly entertaining first half. Dodds back to Glass. And a very good effort there by Scott Booth at the near post. Well, Stephen Glass delivers this ball so well from the left-hand side. Booth got in there in front of Stephen Tweed. Referee Jim McCluskey brings the first half to an end. Aberdeen unable to get back in level terms. Equalised the goal scored in 23 minutes by Keith Wright. A superb running, glancing header from Michael O'Neill's free kick. Hibs have defended resolutely and they've been very dangerous in the counter-attack. Aberdeen having so much of the play. The second half is sure to be interesting. At half-time, it's Aberdeen 0, Aberdeen 1. No change in either line-up for the start of the second half, although Chris Jackson seemed to suffer from a knock just towards half-time, and he came out looking a little bit hesitant. So we'll see how long he lasts. I think he may be given 5 minutes or so to try to run that off, and then see if he can continue. Certainly a very useful job for Hibs in that first half, in the defensive central midfield role, marking Ian Jess. Not running too freely at the moment, Aberdeen. Keeping Duncan Shearer in reserve, Peter Heatherstone. That's a good pass by Jess. On the far side is Glass. Came off the crossbar, it bent behind the goal. Well, the crowd behind the goal not happy about that. And a goal kick's been given. He really is deadly with his left foot. There it was swirling across. Well, that's a surprising decision going by that angle. Hibs have started the second half in a more pronounced 4-4-2 formation. Pushing Darren Dodds across the right back. Joe Tortolano dropping back to the left back spot. Hunter and Tweed in the middle. That's good play again from Aberdeen. Clearance came from Gordon Hunter. Kimmy waits for Ingalls. He's the target. And a great save by Leighton from Booth. Scotland goalkeeper producing a remarkable save here. The throw caused the problem. The ball broke awkwardly to Booth on the turn. It hit that with a lot of power, and Leighton was in just the right place. Glass with the corner. Back to Bernard. It's not a bad effort either. Rising too quickly. You see the frustration. He has already opened his account for Aberdeen. Well, the hero, undoubtedly, the goalkeeper, Jim Leighton. How often have we heard that? Tortolano lost it forward. O'Neill. Darren Jackson calls for the ball shot. Mike O'Neill hustled all the way there by Grant. This is Darren Dodds. McGinley. Nowhere to go there. Kimmy comes clear. Chris Jackson did well against Jess once again. The youngster having a good match in midfield. Jess towards Glass, and the effort there by Dodds. Producing another good save from Jim Leighton. Another fast raid by Aberdeen. Jess with a measured pass. There was Billy Dodds. Which is a very lonely spot inside Pittodrie for that young man, ball boy. Away from from McGinley. Header on by Booth. Tweed steps in. Jackson. Well read by Glass. Mistake by McKinney, that's McGinley. Now Michael O'Neill. It's off the post. Snelders was something, but he got a hand to that. What a let-off for Aberdeen. Theo Snelders relieved that he had just enough there. It was hit very hard indeed, and Snelders got a touch onto the post. An excellent save. Side against Harper. Michael O'Neill almost put Hibs back in front. Good save by Snelders. Smith looking for Grant. Miller. Grant again. That's great play from Aberdeen. Chance on here. Cross that by Miller, but no one attacking the ball coming into the box. Great bit of play involving Grant and Miller initially. First time pass by Grant. The turn came from Miller, and that's excellent build-up play. Cross though, couldn't find a friendly head. Anticipation every time Glass lines himself up for a shot at goal. He's changing his smile with the referee. Couldn't make it 2 out of 2 there. Grant. Darren Dawes did well again. Here's Booth. Chance on. And another. Save from Leighton. Scott Booth, can't believe that. Ian Jess did so well with a header. Darren Dawes lost Booth for a moment, and that was a magnificent stop. Jess to Miller, the back heeler finds Bernard. Excellent defending by Tweed. Read it well, stood up strongly. Back with Grant. Jess again, loose ball at the edge of the box. The call from McKinney. Target here is Ingalls. Get away by Leighton. A relentless pressure now on the Hibs goal. Another very good ball in, and Scott Booth to a touch. That made the save more remarkable. Chip Leighton having a day out in his old home territory. I'm sure this will confirm a touch on. Just get a glancing header on that, and Leighton right behind the ball. Good turn by Darren Jackson, away from Bernard, right to O'Neill. Here's Harper, back towards right, the offside flag was up. Good swift play though from Hibs. O'Neill. That's good play, checking away from Ryan Grant. O'Neill going all the way up. Shelby scored! Brilliant play from Michael O'Neill. play it was by Michael O'Neill. Hibs supporters celebrate again. They've been very quiet throughout the second half so far. But that has brought them to life. Back to Duncan Shearer. Breaking the ball. This is Paul Kenley for Aberdeen. Blocked there by Dodds. Here's McKimmie. Now Glass. Away from McGinley, and the covering player was McAllister. That was a very good play by McAllister, but McGinley didn't react quickly enough to that. Here's Glass with a cross. Now Joe Miller. And it's headed away there by Tweed. Appeals for handball, but very hopeful. No merit in that. There's Joe Miller's corner. Off the head of McGinley. Right to O'Neill. Hunter challenging strongly, but too strongly. Hunter's been penalised for their challenge on Bernard. They felt that all right, Paul Bernard. Now, a chance perhaps for Duncan Shearer. Will stoppage time at the end of the match. Could be the last chance for Aberdeen. There's Shearer. The wall stood up well. Scrambled away by Tweed. Bernard now to Miller. And he's wasted that opportunity, and maybe the last for Aberdeen. Shake of the head. Well, Aberdeen, I'm sure, will be wondering how they can put so much into a match, to attack so much, and it looks as though they're going to end with nothing. Headed on by Keith Wright. Referee McCluskey has checked his watch a couple of times. Can't be much longer to go. He's checked both watches. Checked with his linesman. It's going to end now. Hibs have won the match. Well, it was a terrific match played in a cup-tie spirit right from the start. And Aberdeen will be wondering when they leave here how they managed to take nothing from a match in which they contributed so much. Keith Wright was the player who gave Hibs that vital lead in 23 minutes. An excellent glancing header, but when Stephen Glass scored the equaliser after 53 minutes, Aberdeen looked to be the likelier side. But Jim Leighton defied them, and then Michael O'Neill popped up 40 minutes from the end with that terrific individual goal to keep the Hibs challenge on course for the league title. It's Aberdeen 1, Hibernian 2.
Keith, a suggestion in the Aberdeen camp that was robbery. What would you say to that?
They had a lot of possession, but we had big Jim Leighton doing his usual job at the back, so we're quite happy to come away with 3 points.
Did the game pan out largely the way you expected?
We knew it would be a really tough game coming here. Aberdeen in a cup final, they're on a high just now. But we're playing well ourselves. That's 3 wins in a trot for us, so we knew we had a chance coming up. We had a go at them, which we did, and we got our just reward.
You've got this partnership now going with Kevin Harper up front, and of course a lot of counter-attacking opportunities. How do you rate him?
He's a tremendous player. He's always going to get so many chances with his pace. The wee man missed a couple today, but he'll be back. As I say, he's going to get that many chances per game. It's a matter of time for wee man's banging them in.
Roy, is there a feeling of disbelief that you took nothing from that game?
It's a very frustrating game, football, isn't it? Obviously, I'm delighted that he's here to be able to show the game in its true reflection, but we have got to start turning our dominance in matches into results. You know, obviously, I want to perform, I want to entertain, but I want to win games as well. And it's a little bit of ruthlessness, whether it be defensively or whether it be in front of goals, to turn more outfield play, which is very good, into either goals at one end or, you know, lack of goals at the other end.
You did lose 2 goals today despite dominating the match territory almost from the start. Is that a source of concern for you?
Well, the way Hibs play, I mean, they do definitely, they've got the strength up front with Harper and Wright, and they do hit you in the break. Jackson getting forward as well, McGinley getting forward at times. But, you know, we've got to be that little bit more ruthless defensively as well. I'm not going to get into criticising the players here, obviously, on air, but we spoke about the goals we lost, and we'll always do that. I mean, you can always criticise after goals, but, you know, I'm more concerned about our general performance in the sense of, you know, winning games, and whether it be defensive mistakes or whether it be in front of goals, you know, that final touch, that final, you know, lunging header or whatever to turn the ball into the back of the net. It's that little edge that we need now to turn our dominance into actual winning games.
Football's not always a pretty game. You've got to battle and grind out results, and that's certainly what we did today.
You really think you should have saved the shot from Stephen? It looked to be a terrific hit from our position.
Yeah, I'd like to think from that distance I would get closer than I did. But I'll watch it tonight, but I still think I should have got it.
There's obviously a feeling in the Aberdeen camp at the moment that was a smash and grab victory for Hibs. Would you argue with that, or do you think the defending was of a high enough quality to justify a win?
Well, we've been critical of ourselves over the last few games that we've lost too many goals. So we've been working hard in training and, you know, getting back to the way we were last season. And I think against Kilmarnock last week and Motherwell the week before and today, we've showed the benefits of that work we've been doing. And we've got to keep working harder to concede less goals. But if we defend like that...
And with Jim Leighton in goal, they started November well. A solid stop there by the man who's sure to be named by Craig Brown in Scotland's squad tomorrow. Kevin Harper, the little striker, was looking on form at Pittodrie. Michael O'Neill through to Harper. Snelders narrows the angle, and that really wasn't far away at all. A minute later, he was involved again, brought down just outside the box. Hibs had obviously thought about the free kick. This one had been worked before. The cross from O'Neill, the header from Keith Wright. In at the near post, 1-0 to Hibs. Harper had another chance before half-time. Jest is possessed by Chris Jackson. Harper knows he should have got on target. Again, though, good work by Theo Snelders. Roy Aitken must have said something at half-time that worked. 8 minutes into the second half, Stephen Glass decides to go it alone. He's a fantastic young talent, and he shows all his skill here. Cracks one in, it's 1-1. That's a terrific shot. Takes one bounce, Leighton goes down, but it's in the back of the net. Well, midway through the half, another chance for Hibs. Michael O'Neill, he did it last week. A brilliant save by Theo Snelders. You wonder why he isn't the Aberdeen #1 at the moment. Hibs came roaring back after that. Michael O'Neill again involved and serving notice that he means business. Cutting through the Aberdeen defence. A brilliant goal. 2 weeks running, leaving the keeper for dead, and Hibs back in the lead. And that's how it finished. A fine win for Hibs, and the Hibs fans will long remember this strike from Michael O'Neill.
Kilmarnock had put their poor start to the season behind them. Another former Ranger, David Hagan, Leighton doing enough to force him wide. Things just weren't going Hibs' way. A bad pass out of defence from Stephen Tweed allowed Falkirk to break again. Johnson on the run, Leighton to the rescue. Then a rare attack by Hibs. Scott McKenzie caught in possession by Chris Jackson. He tried to release Keith Wright, but keeper Tony Parks filled in well at right back to make a great challenge on the Hibs front man. Falkirk started the second half in much the same mood. A great flick from Johnston, who continued the run. Hagan beats his man down the right. He looked up before firing in the cross, and Johnson timed the run to perfection. 1-0 Falkirk. A great finish from Johnson there. It was all Falkirk now, as John Lambie's side looked for the killer second goal. Johnson involved again. The drive from David Weir just past Leighton's right-hand post. But Falkirk were in the mood, and the second goal came. A good 1-2 here. Elliott's effort back off the post, and Johnson on hand to grab his, and Falkirk's second. This had been a bad match for Hibs. They were second to every ball throughout. Elliott was causing Hibs' defence all sorts of problems too. A good turn, the attempted lob, it didn't come off. Still, Falkirk got the win.